Did I do something wrong to deserve this? A lot of us like wish, oh, I wish I had more freedom. I wish I was more independent. Everything goes a bit crazy around your world. Everything starts to shuffle around like a hurricane.
What did you ask for? What did you do right? Like, this is a gift rather than saying, oh, this poison is coming at me. Why am I being punished?
You wanted to be independent. Here, what will you do when all this mess starts to happen in your life?
It is uncomfortable to go through that transition of whatever field that we're used to being in or area that we were in. We're comfortable there because our energy is used to it.
You're going to be miserable and sad and upset, but a part of you knows that this is done for you. What have I been seeking for this to be taking place?
Something really good is going to come out of this. So what sense are we supposed to make of when life just starts hitting us from all angles? When it feels like we're just one thing is falling apart after another and we're getting to the point where we're getting just kind of deflated or burnout or just wondering what is going on? Did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? Did I do something wrong in this life? Did I do something wrong in a past life? Is it just a coincidence that sometimes crap just happens? But what do we do? What are we to think about so we don't get bogged down into a state of depression or feeling like shame or feeling like we did something wrong? What are your thoughts on this, Rain?
Um, well, recently my personal life has been just everything has just gone insane. Um, what I feel deeply or what I'm hearing is that life always does happen. It's just when certain things happen that we've been taught that are bad things, then we really focus on it. But in general, there are so many aspects of life taking place consistently. So let's say your washing machine breaks down, um, your phone goes to hell, the neighbor gets psychotic on you, and like everything is happening all at once, is just all at once taking place. But in one's mind and what we've been taught, that when these things happen, it means something bad. So we give it a meaning that this is bad. Yet in parallel, you could have a friend that came over and cooked you a cake that you loved because she knew about it. Or you got that phone call from the bank saying, hey, by the way, you've got extra credit. We're going to give you this. And then you go to a restaurant and your friend pays for you. So you've got that in parallel happening, and these are considered good. But because we're constantly programmed to observe the bad that's happening and then give it the language of this is bad, therefore I am being punished. So in a lot of like religions and in cultures, you don't even, it doesn't even have to be a religion. In religions and cultures, we are taught that if something bad happens to you, that means it's your fault, right? And if something good happens to you, that is from God. So in neither scenario, like the good scenario is not even yours. You can't even say like, "Oh my God, that friend sent me that cake out of nowhere. I'm so blessed. Look at how lucky I am." You can't even own that. But we are so taught to own 100% the misery that takes place, right? It's my fault that the dryer broke down. I wonder what I did. Is God punishing me? Exactly what you said. Is God punishing me? Because that's what we've been taught. We've been taught that God punishes, right? So is God punishing me? Did I do something wrong to deserve this? Is it because I cut off that friend? Is it because I talked to my mom that way? Is it because, and you're going to go back because it has to be your fault. You are the cause of this demise. Now, if we zoom out of that idea that there's no cause, okay, in any form, and nothing that happens is bad or good, it just is. Let's just say life is happening, it just so happens. What I'm hearing is the reason all this happens, and sometimes it all junks up together, is because at some point you had, I had, whoever's listening had a wish. So there was a wish for something new to take place. But when we make that wish, we assume that all the old needs to be there for the wish to come true. We just want to keep all the old that we've fixed in our life, and we want to add on it. However, a lot of times when our wishes want to be fulfilled, adding on to what is old doesn't work, okay? Because it needs a new foundation. So you'll find that, let's say you want to change your identity, you want to become more confident, you want to become more independent. A lot of us like wish, oh, I wish I had more freedom, I wish I was more independent, I wish I could feel more self-assured and more self-secure. And then there's a doubt in there, but then everything goes a bit crazy around your world. Everything starts to shuffle around like a hurricane, and you don't have time to even sit with your thoughts anymore, except the horrible thoughts of what did I do wrong, right? And self-blame, which is the natural way we talk to ourselves because of our upbringing. But what's actually happening is reality needs to shift. Reality is shifting. You want it to be independent. Here, what will you do when all this mess starts to happen in your life? Okay. We're teaching you the independence, which is find the solutions, go out, ask people, make that call, right? Don't be afraid and like, oh no, like what if you're one of, let's say, for example, you want to leave your husband. Okay. So you're looking for that independence. I'm scared to leave and I don't know how to leave. And I'm so worried my life will go crazy and I'm not independent enough. I won't be able to take care of myself, but that I wish I could take care of myself and I had that strength and belief. Your life will just go mayhem. Why? Independence is trying to teach you something. Here, everything's gone crazy. Fix it, do it. And once you do it, you'll notice you've been independent your whole life because you're going to know it's good. It's like proof. You want, it's like proof to self, I can do it. Right. And then everything settles. But already the foundation that was there has been broken. Okay. It sort of collapsed on itself. And now you have this new perception on yourself, about yourself, like, hey, I can do it. All this stuff got destroyed. I didn't have to ask my husband or my ex. I was able to do it, and the universe kind of sent me the right people. I got the right phone call. The person who I called was really helpful. The insurance company was super helpful. Like all of a sudden, life is taking care of you, and this is a new memory to put in that I can do it. Now, the problem, the little glitch in the middle is the part where you will not notice that you can do it is the glitch in the middle saying, was it my fault? Is God punishing me? Am I being reprimanded for this? Is it karma? Did I do something in my past life? What is the cause for this mayhem? Because life is supposed to be pretty, but life isn't supposed to just be pretty and be, we're supposed to expand in it. We're supposed to whatever we wish for. So I recommend look back. What did you request from the universe? What did you request from source? What did you request to want to feel? Right. And a lot of times when it's, I want to be independent, I want to be free, I want to feel myself, I want to feel worthy, a lot of shit starts hitting the fan. But it's hitting the fan to offer you those gifts that you have asked for. And there's no other way. And actually, when all this shit happens, especially in your home and around your personal life and friends leave and all the disasters, such a blessing that it's happening within the space in which you have hands, you can control it somehow, right? So then you start to develop confidence in yourself. So just see it, don't see it as karma or something negative happening. See it as, this is, I have requested something and this is the way in which my request is being fulfilled so I can become the being that I have requested to become, right? So it happened with me with friends, for example. A whole bunch of friends started like, I would be like, oh my God, she's backstabbing me. Oh my God, and it was just like all the time, all the time. And then when I thought back, I'm like, what did I request? Oh my God, I didn't want to be attached to friends anymore because my whole worth in life was the amount of friends I have all the time. But it was a wish. I'm like, I wish I wasn't that attached to them. I wish I could feel more independent of these friendships, and everything came crashing down. Why? It wasn't a punishment. It was like, oh my God, that's what you want to do? Here you go. How else will you do it unless you face it? You go through it yourself and notice you're still alive, you're still breathing, and actually you love yourself a lot more. So it's kind of, it's that way of thinking of it.
Wow, that's a beautiful perspective shift with that versus being like, oh, what did I do wrong? It's no, what did you ask for? What did you do right? Like, this is a gift rather than saying, oh, this poison is coming at me. Why am I being punished? It's like, no, this is your gift that you've been asking for. You don't realize God or universe or source is like giving you just what you want. In fact, we're like rebelling against it and resisting, not knowing like it is uncomfortable to go through that transition of whatever field that we're used to being in or area that we were in, we're comfortable there because our energy is used to it. So now we're shifting to, evolving to a new energy field. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. That's just how it is, that transition. It's like, oh, I'm not used to this. Is it safe? So you start to question, is this okay? Is everything falling apart? Is it happening to me or is it happening for me? And I love that motto. If we can go back to that when things are coming up, is, oh, everything is happening for you. It's not happening to you, which changes everything. So if you can step back and be like, okay, how is this happening for me? It kind of gives you a little bit more inner peace and freedom, I feel like.
A lot of times when we ask for things, we're asking for us to become somebody new. It could be like, oh, can I have this much money, or can I have the house, or can I have, but the real request is, the reason I'm asking for the house is because I want to be free. I don't know what's happening in your specific home that you need your own home. I want to be free of the burden of a mortgage. I want to be free of, maybe you have a roommate. I want to be free of my partner. So it's trying to understand, like, what have I been seeking for this to be taking place? So for me, now that, from like the mice eating my pipes to my daughter's ceiling basically falling and all wet into the bathroom and it not ending, is I was seeking complete and utter independence from my family, right? The thing that would kept me there is like, I need that support, and I need them available, and I need to feel like I can always lean back on them, even though that wasn't the case and that wasn't how I was feeling in my world. But it was an illusion in my mind. So now it's to practice, oh wait, can I do it without that kind of support that I desired? And that's kind of what's showing up for me, is like, wait a minute, kind of, I can do it. I'm fine. I'm still alive. I'm still smiling. And this is just, I'm being gifted the gift of the freedom that I specifically was looking for. Of course, I didn't want it to come in this way. Of course, it would be amazing if I could win the lottery, $50 million, and it comes in that way. But then that will always be still not what my internal strength has become. It doesn't shift my internal strength, right? You can still get the $50 million if you want it, but with a new you. So all this with the storm and the tornado that appears and everything, it's the best way to do it is where you stand strong in who you are, and you start to say, okay, I'm going to observe how I'm shifting during this period, instead of, oh my God, instead of running back to your partner or your family, instead of running back, because that's the easiest thing to do, especially if you're not being treated well. You just want to run back to that safety, even though you're being taught, you're being given your wish fulfilled. Your wish is being fulfilled. And so if we can be okay with, my wish is being fulfilled no matter what, my brain is telling me this is a bad thing because I've been taught if things break, it's bad and it's my fault. But if things don't break, then it's not my fault. It's a good luck, but coming from somewhere else. This is the teaching. So if I can, during this period, completely observe myself and just keep thinking, like, this is a miracle. I am going through a miracle right now. Some miracle is happening, and something amazing is about to happen to me, not to my world outside, but me. My perception of my world outside is about to change, right? And this is where this is taking me. And can I button up and just it's like, ground yourself in that truth. The self-blaming is just, it's an exhausting journey because you're going to change anyway. But as you're going through the self-blame and the self-shame and the wondering, is it me, is it God, is it my karma, all that is just making your journey to the truth of who you need to be very exhausting. So you're going to shift away. It's not like, if you're going to shift because you asked and everything's responded to, but your way there is like taxing and exhausting and hating yourself and depressed and crying and just misery, right? And be like, I'm going to shift anyway. How can I make it easier on myself? Because all this stuff doesn't really matter. The fact that my daughter's ceiling fell or a dishwasher broke down, plus the car, plus the this, it's irrelevant. It's how I make it out to be in my mind. If I make it out to be bad and I'm being punished, then I'm definitely miserable while it's happening. If I make it in my head as, something magical is about to happen. This is just magic. My wishes are being fulfilled. Then how miserable can I be as it happens? I've just shifted my paradigm. And how often have you all tried shifting your paradigm about something and noticing that it doesn't hurt you? You break up with a partner or a boyfriend or something, and you're like, yeah, because my true love is out there. And and you're hurting, you're like, this was for the best. I couldn't do this to myself anymore. And you're in pain because you know something magical is about to happen. You don't go through the pain as much. But when you think this was the love of my life and I'll never meet anyone like him and it was all my fault, I wish I changed, I wish I was better, I wish he could love me again. The path is hell. Same story, same outcome, different journey in the middle, right? So it's just being nice to yourself a little bit as often as you can.
So
Yeah,
do you
Mel.
think that um sometimes we do need a cluster, like a cluster of stuff to come and hit because maybe we're used to actually handling one issue at a time and we don't realize, oh, we're actually good at doing that. And so we don't even notice it because it's not pushing us to like be like, okay, what is going on? Like this is getting silly now. Like now I'm starting to laugh that everything I touch is falling apart. What is happening? So I think that's when people start to slow down and maybe question, where other times they're just doing the thing, taking care of it, but not giving themselves the credit of like, you are handling life. You have been handling life. It's just not a big enough push or pain point for you to actually look at it and see, so it seems like, yeah, is that needed sometimes for us to really like step back and either we're going to make our life more hell, like we're going to see it as poison, like I'm getting hit from every angle. Yeah, am I being punished? Or we're going to step back and be like, now you get to use this to build up and see, wow, look how resilient you are. Look what you can overcome. Look what you did. All this stuff, you've survived through it and you're still going and it's okay. I just wonder if we need sometimes life for us to actually see what's happening, if it needs to be a cluster and then see, like you said, the miracle in it and see it as a miracle versus torture.
Definitely has to be a cluster. There's something Oprah said like 20 years ago, and I heard it. I loved it, and I would like. She would say sometimes one of the things she was sharing was, life will hit you. Will like first it'll like blow at you for you to notice, and then you ignore it, and then it'll slap you on the face, and then it'll have a brick hit your head, right? And then you'll be like, okay, something, and then the house will fall. So sometimes it depends on how attuned am I to my personal truth, or how much am I, um, how much of my thoughts and beliefs and programs do I believe over that intuitive nature that I have, that we all have, right? So it's like when the mind comes in, when one thing breaks, you're like, it's just one thing, but everything else is beautiful. So it's fine. I don't have to do anything about it. Two things break. Oh, well, it's only normal. This and this. It's okay. I have enough space. And then 10 starts going insane. That's when the house falls on your head, because we are not taught to listen to our intuition. We're not taught to like look at the signs and interpret. We're taught that no, it has to be logical. You have to go in your mind. So if your mind tells you, no, that's just one thing, it's not a problem, everybody has their dishwasher, go to hell, that's okay, then you'll move past it. But you haven't really shifted at all because it's exactly the same pattern. So you're very right, Mel. It has to be a catastrophe. And in time, it slowly stops being a catastrophe. It's just that one whisper that you start, oh, wait, you know what? I'm not going to talk to that friend anymore. I trust how I feel. And it's, I think, moving from doubt to trust 100%. And yeah, that's the angle of it.
Okay. I like that. And so the message is to just really, when these things come hitting you really hard, is to look at it and be like, okay, something really good is going to come out of this. Or I'm going through a really big transition. This is my butterfly cocoon, the uncomfortable place of the butterfly that's about to get its wings and fly. So it's like, okay, this is exciting. So that's the gift. If we can see it as the gift of like, okay, there's something, obviously, this isn't a coincidence that all this is happening. This is a gift to me. What is the gift in it? What am I learning? What am I to let go of and release? Obviously, things are getting burned to the ground, which means new life gets to form and come. So I think if we can have that perspective versus, oh, I'm a victim, this sucks, the world's against me, God's against me, that's where the pain is going to be created. So this is a gift of just shifting your perspective of like, oh, the miracle is happening. God is blessing me. Like you're always being blessed, or this is happening for you. And again, universe, it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. It's not the point. It's just this thing is happening and how to have a positive outlook on it. We just want people to like, and including myself, to find this inner freedom and inner peace and self-love.
Yeah, I think one of the most important questions, if you guys want to ask yourself a question, if you're going through any of this or have gone, is what did I wish for? What did I intend? What did I request? Right? And just be like, if I zoom out, will what's happening to me fulfill that request emotionally? Right? So remember, it doesn't have to look the way we want it to look. It can be a completely different way, but it's getting you to this to the end result that best works for you to get there in the quickest, shortest way possible. It's always that's like if that's happening to you, the reason it's happening because it's the shortest cut to get you to that sense of freedom. It's the shortest cut, right? And you asked, and so just pay attention. Even if you're miserable during it, it doesn't matter. Of course, you can be miserable. You're going to be miserable and sad and upset, but a part of you knows that this is done for you. Like a part of you. If a part of you knows that, then you can't listen to the stories in your head because you'll always be like, you know what? It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. Right. And you'll have more freedom internally. Yes. So,
Oh, I love
yeah.
that. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Please give us a thumbs up if you found enjoyment in this and subscribe so you can be updated on the newest posts that we do and the newest videos. Make sure to check out our Buy Me a Coffee account that has some really great products, digital products, as well as beautiful jewelry that you can check out. And you guys can just support us and donate there so we can keep creating these great videos. Please comment below too. We'd love to hear your comments and to connect with you, and we'll make sure to respond to you and let us know what your biggest takeaway was from this, or if you had any perspective shifts, or if you have any examples or stories that you'd like to share. We'd love to hear it. And then make sure to watch our next episode. We'll post it right here. So check that out. You'll get a lot of value from that. And we'll see you on the next episode.